Hey, it's Jamie from runningrestaurants.com. What we have for you today is a slice of a recent webinar I did with Roger Beaudoin from restaurantrockstars.com called How to Put Your Restaurant House in Order. Enjoy. Hey there, folks. It's Jamie from runningrestaurants.com. Are you looking to grow your restaurant in 2023? Then you've got to check out Pop Menu. If you've listened to me over the years, then you know I'm a big fan of restaurant tech, making the life of restaurant operators easier and more effective and more profitable. And that's exactly what Pop Menu does through their collection of tools to get folks to your website, to capture their info, and then drive new and repeat business down the road. For a limited time, my listeners can get $100 off your first month, plus lock in one unchanging monthly rate at popmenu.com/running. So go now to get $100 off your first month and learn more about Pop Menu's entire collection of tools at popmenu.com/running. That's popmenu.com/running. So let's talk about break even. This is another question you ask folks right out of the gate. Do you know your break even? Do you know when you should be open? Do you know when you should close? And I think a lot of people have a picture of this in their head, but don't necessarily do it. What do you think?
Okay, really quickly, and I'll move a little faster on this, but if you are taking notes, why do you need to calculate daily break even? Well, with the labor shortage being what it is, the crisis affecting so many businesses have had to close days. Okay, they can't be open 7 days a week now because they just have had trouble staffing. But a lot of restaurants would say, well, geez, I really don't know which day makes sense to close. So again, that's where accurate note taking comes in mind. So if you've got accurate notes week after week after week, maybe it's Sunday that's your slowest day, maybe it's Monday, maybe it's Tuesday, but unless you actually do this exercise, the daily break even, you wouldn't know. So let me explain what this means. Every business, every restaurant has expenses every single week, if not every single month. And you might have an office manager that keeps the files in the cloud. Maybe you got the old school file cabinet in the corner of your office, whatever. You have to assemble every single invoice on a monthly basis that your restaurant has to pay for every single thing. I'm talking about your food cost, your utilities, like all these different things. So let's just say you assemble a big stack of invoices. There's a spreadsheet for break even that works this way. It first lists every single expense or cost that you have to pay. Now, there are two types of costs. It's easy to understand, but there are fixed costs and there are variable costs. And what's the difference? A fixed cost is something that your business has to pay every single month, regardless of how many days you're open. If you close your business, you still have fixed costs. You still have a lease payment to make every single month. Your landlord doesn't care if you're open 7 days a week or 2 days a week. He still wants his rent payment, okay? If you have a mortgage to the bank, that obviously is a fixed cost. Your insurance, your general liability, your workers' comp, that is a fixed cost whether you're open 2 days a week, 7 days a week. You see where I'm going with that. Your phone bill, your dumpster, all these things. So you make a list of the fixed costs, and we have a spreadsheet for this, and the fixed costs appear at the top. And then variable costs go up or down. They're either higher or lower based on the number of hours or days you're open in your business. These are things like, obviously, your payroll. If you're only open 5 days a week, your payroll is less money than if you're open 7 days a week. Same with cost of goods. Your food costs, your purchases of food and beverage and all those things obviously are less the less number of days you're open versus more. Your heating oil, your electricity, if the lights aren't on 7 days a week, your electric bill is less than, if you were open every single day. So now you got a list of your variable costs. So you plug all these things into the spreadsheet, either as a fixed cost or a variable cost, and you plug in on a 30-day basis, because most invoices come in by the month. If it's food costs we're talking about, you might have 6 or 7 or 8 invoices for food over the course of 1 month. Add all those things up and then plug in a month's worth. But essentially, the spreadsheet at the very bottom automatically divides the list by 30, and that gives you a number, and that is your daily break even. What does that mean? That means for any given day, doesn't matter what day it is, how much does it cost you to put the key in the lock, open the door to your business, turn the lights on, bring people in to run the restaurant and to serve the guests and to cook the food and have food in the walk-in and have beverages behind the bar and all this kind of stuff. Okay, any given day, utilities divided by 30, all these things. And the number might be $900. The number might be $1,500. It varies on the size of your restaurant and the expenses. But that's how much it costs you to not make a profit or not to lose any money. It literally costs you $1,500 to open the doors and turn the lights on and bring the people in and serve the food, whether you serve 10 people or 200 people. Okay, so if you consistently can show that Mondays, let's just say your daily break-even number is $1,000 based on this calculation. If you look in history for the past 4 or 5 or 6 Mondays in a row, and maybe you sold $800 on a Monday last week, and the week before that, maybe it was $900, and the week before that, it was $550. If you can consistently show that you're below break-even several weeks in a row, that tells you, geez, that's the day to close, because you will lose less money by closing the doors that day than you would by opening up and losing that break-even amount. Okay, so if you close, you don't have all those expenses. That's the importance of calculating your daily break-even.
Hey, Raj, one thing, and we'll probably get to it later, is the close open decision. If you do find a day that's going to, let's say Monday, that you need to close, the other opportunity before making the final decision is to promote to that day. Come up, be creative,
Absolutely.
Brainstorm, and we'll talk a little bit more about that.
For sure, absolutely.
I want to
if you can staff for it, it makes more sense to come up with a special promotion to drive business on that day. Even if it's a loss leader, you're making a very good point here. If you can bring people in, at a reasonable price for some special entree or some special night that gathers people together, you'll make money if you've got a bar selling alcohol, even if you're discounting the food, and people will still buy other things. And I always recommend you try to do a special promotion on a slower night if you can staff for it.